Now, in the wake of the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, the Network on Police Reforms in Nigeria has urged the Inspector General of Police to take appropriate steps to curb the acts of sexual violence being perpetrated by officers, rising from a press briefing on to herald the commencement of 16 days of activism. The national coordinator, NOPRIN, Emmanuel Nikule, flanked by members of FIDA and some activists, believe law enforcement officers are supposed to protect and not to abuse women and girls. NOPRIN cites various reports in Abuja, Lagos and Ondo, among other states, where police officers have allegedly committed crimes of violence among women. For the Federation of Female Lawyers, they say they have been at the forefront of advocacy to protect the rights of women and children in Nigeria. Now, meanwhile, the program's officer, Project Alert, Nsini Udonta, gives a background to the 16 days of activism, urging Nigerians to endeavor to speak in the advocacy to end sexual violence.
As law enforcement officers, they are supposed to protect and not abuse women and girls. Law enforcement officers are not above the law. Thus, if they commit acts of sexual abuse, they should be dismissed from the force. If you have a mandate to protect and you cannot carry out that mandate, I think it's better you just leave it now for people that can to do it. So if they cannot protect the rights of the people, then such officers should be dismissed from the force and made to face the civil court on criminal charges. Enough of impunity.
There's no a day that goes by without a reported case of violence, sexual violence of children, most especially children, innocent children. We have cases whereby a 2-year-old child is being raped. We have cases of a 6-month-old baby is being defiled. We have several cases which needs to draw the world's attention to. The significant dates for them.
There is need for each and every one of us to focus on how to gear efforts towards putting in place a comprehensive and multi-sectoral services that is accessible for all survivors of rape and sexual violence, and also explore how we can collectively change our response to be survivor-based, survivor-centered, timely, and efficient in order to end the prevailing culture of impunity.
It's good that NOPRIN is drawing our attention to the areas where law enforcement agencies are actually perpetrators of sexual violence. What is the government doing about it? I believe by this press release, key stakeholders will be able to access this information on media and know that the police, the army, they cannot be made to feel as if they are sacred cows.
Now, the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence is an annual international campaign that kicks off on November 25, the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, and runs until December 10, Human Rights Day. Well, we stay with social issues, and following the incessant rape cases in Adamawa State, the residents